Hello everyone, this is just a short description of a new feature that will be included in Storm of War version 3, which will be launching soon, fingers crossed. What we have now on the server is a new type of target, which is area targets. Basically, the server now can recognize an area on the map, such as this industrial area you see in front of you, and can assign that whole area as a target, and these targets work similar to the old airfield targets from Storm of War 2. So for these area targets, you do not need to destroy every single building or object in order to complete the target. What you have to do is drop a certain mass of bombs inside the target area. So for example, we will have small targets, medium targets, and large targets, and the volume or the mass of bombs which are required to destroy each target will be different depending on its size. So a small target will take not very many bombs to destroy, and a large target would take a lot. It's likely that large targets will be similar to the large airfields in terms of how many bombs you need to drop on them to destroy them. Now, it will be obvious from the campaign interface whether a target is a objects target, that is a target where you have to destroy all the individual buildings, or whether it is an area target, in which case you could just bomb the whole area and you don't need to pinpoint each individual building. With this kind of target, this area target, is that we don't need to add extra objects to the map. So we can actually use existing map areas like this. However, that means it's very hard to work out from the air if such an area is a target or not. So what I've decided to do is add barrage balloons to the area targets. So if I zoom out here, you see this area target west of Basingstoke, there are 2 barrage balloons on top of that area, and then there's another area here in this triangle in North Basingstoke, and there's another 2 balloons there. So let's have a quick fly and we'll see what these areas look like when you're flying an aeroplane. Okay, so here I am inside a Spitfire. As you can see from the Spitfire here, I can see a pair of balloons there, and then there's another couple of balloons back a bit further. This near set of balloons are over top one of the targets, so let's just get rid of the cockpit, and there you can see those 2 balloons in the distance are above this area target down here on the left where my cursor is, and in the distance there's another 2 balloons there, and they're sitting on top of this industrial area over here. Now, none of these area targets will be residential areas. They will only be industrial, railway, those kinds of areas. Storm of War does not endorse reenacting the terror bombing, so there will be no area targets that are residential. So let's just have a look at these targets from a longer distance away. So now I've flown my Spitfire about maybe 3 or 4 miles to the east of the target area, and you can see that the balloons will render in as dots, but from above it's not very easy to see the balloons. So if you are trying to find these targets, you're probably better off flying at lower altitude, and I'll show you why. If we rapidly descend now below the height of the balloons, and the balloons range from about 1,000 up to 3,000 feet. So now we're below the balloon's altitude, and you can see them quite clearly. 2 pairs of balloons marking 2 separate targets. In some cases there may be more than 2 balloons if the target is particularly large. Now we're going to fly on top of those balloons so we can see what they look like from directly above. My recommendation also for those pilots who wish to take recon photos is to position yourself between a pair of balloons when you take the photo, then you should be fairly well on top of the target. Just going to make a vertical climb here, and we're going to try and position ourselves on top of those balloons. Should have done this in a 109, then I wouldn't have to worry about losing my fuel flow then. Okay, so I'm almost on top of the balloons now. I'm just going to left wing down and pause. Okay, so this is basically on top of a couple of balloons, fairly close. And you can see that they do a pretty good job of marking the target area. It's not perfectly easy to see because they could be marking the railway station or they could be marking that industrial area. But they should give you a very good indication that there is an area target in the vicinity of the balloons. So that is the new area target system for Storm of War 3.0. I hope it makes sense. No doubt I won't have explained it entirely clearly, and there will be loads of questions about this. But the main benefit, I guess, of this is it allows us to assign quite large areas of the map as targets without having to add in a whole load of objects. So the object count now for Storm of War 3 will be quite significantly reduced, which should also make the server run a whole lot smoother and should improve frame rates. So I hope that was interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in Storm of War 3.0 launching, I don't know, 2 weeks. Shall we say 2 weeks? Yeah, that seems to be the way things run in Cliffs of Dover.